It's like a rubber band? What? What rubber bands have teeth? Time out. What rubber bands have teeth? I don't know what rubber bands you're talking about. But the last time that I had to put a stack of anything together with a rubber band, they didn't have teeth. I don't know what the hell you... What's going on, chat? Welcome back. Starting off with the Russell scream during the loading screen? Why not? What better way to start viewer games? What's good, chat? Second stream on the day. I'm starting to feel it. By starting to, I mean I was feeling it hours ago because I missed some meals and I had to try and catch up, and then my body wasn't happy that I was trying to make up for lost time with food, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We simply persevere, chat. I would Russell too, but I'm broke right now. Oh no, that was a mistake, Koro. That was a mistake. Fright Night is only 5 hours of streaming. It's a mere 5 hours of streaming after the 10 hours the previous days. Pretty decent timing. It's true. It's true. I have my doubts about every game being released or that it has been recently released. I mean, I agree with you, Tona. We're talking about card games here for anybody that's not in the know. The problem is every game that I see, card games that I see that I want to play, is being produced by companies that have a proven track record of self-immolating. Whether it's their competitive scene, it's their game in general, both, whatever, they just often can't get out of their own way. And it's not even that they can't get out of their own way, it's that they actively go out of their way and make things worse. So it's difficult for me to get excited about them. And then the games that are seemingly successful, I don't want any part of, which is kind of my MO in general. I've been struggling as of late to, like I mentioned before, I have a Lorcana tournament coming up. And I just don't fucking care. I don't even want to play it. I don't even want to play. Every time I sit down and I play it, and I'm like, I'm actually bored, which is, to me, the gravest sin that a entertainment media can produce. Like, if you watch a movie or read a book or listen to a song or play a game or whatever, and it's boring, that is the worst thing that game can do, or thing can do, right? Because that's its entire express purpose, is to engage you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree with that, Atona. I just don't find the game. I mean, there are definitely a lot of things do feel super linear. Like, it's just obvious. It's like you have no other decision points, or the decisions are, oh, I literally have never played the game before, so I don't know what to do here because I've never played this matchup. I don't know what the cards do. But then you play it twice and you might as well be an expert. That is true in a lot of scenarios. I don't think it's true in all of it. My bigger issues is I just don't like the way the gameplay pattern works because of the innate mechanics. I think the fact that the song mechanic exists, for example, just obliterates aggressive, like linear aggressive strategies, which allows for these mid-rangey dirtle snowball decks to happen. And I think that's my biggest issue, is while you can have a more aggressive version of the mid-range Dirtle deck, and then you have a slower, more controlling version of the mid-range Dirtle deck, they're all just this hodgepodge of essentially bomb-heavy limited decks Like bomb-heavy sealed deck decks. D&D cancel. You know what's funny, Luffy? It's not D&D, but there's an RPG setting that I really want to try. First of all, I haven't played a pen and paper RPG in years. But it was a Cthulhu-based one, but you literally only have 3 stats. And it's very amorphous. Like D&D arguably is very crunchy outside looking in, where like there's rules to do fucking everything. Like this is much more it's much more cinematic focused is the way I'd put it. The entire premise is that it's right after Cthulhu or whatever old one is the bad guy in the campaign you're running has officially taken over the world, and you're like it's post-zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombie apocalypse in the scavenging phase, it's Cthulhu just ended the world. You're in the scavenging phase. Good luck. And it's kind of video gamey because the idea is that you have literally something called your headquarters, your base of operations, and it gives you very easy breadcrumbs to like, you need supplies, you need to reinforce it, and then every night there is an assault on your base. So like it's a much more controlled RPG experience, which could be good or bad depending on your group. I know there's lots of groups that like to do weird shit, but you could also have these other ones. I don't know. When I watched this video about it, it sounded very interesting. Sounds like my working definition of stupid. I don't know what that was in response to, Doc. Voting in that game, not believing Alien would win. Alien, I mean, let's put it in perspective. Alien Engineer made it look like a series a couple times where it's like, okay, this might not actually come together. If you're not sure what we're talking about and you're watching this later, watch the top 8 for Fright Night. No spoilers. But Alien Engineer definitely made it look interesting for a while. Definitely looked interesting. Leading off tonight with Jeremy on Biff's Room. For months, I've been trying to make Mildred work in high ranks. This game features the amazing feeling of going neck and neck against someone until you win, and lots of cats. P.S. Get well soon, RT. I love you. Well, shout out to Jeremy. I appreciate that. I am doing better now. It was not going well. It was not going well for a stretch there, but we managed to recover for now until the next catastrophe. Thankfully, it was only like a couple days. Well, it was a few days. I don't know if the game I submitted went through. The Discord was bugging last week. You can check the spreadsheet. Like, the link to the spreadsheet is in the channel, so you can see where it is. There's the submitted tab, and then there's the completed tab for any of the ones that we move over. I actually don't hate Magic Land System. I thought I did for a long time because WoW was actually the perfect game. However, after playing a lot of games, I find myself liking Magic more, which is weird. Liking it more than WoW. I mean, I've come to the conclusion that I might not hate Magic as much as I used to, but I legitimately think that's only because it's almost been 20 years since I played Magic. Actually, I mean, it's less than 20 years. It would be 10... Yeah, it would be 16 years or so. The only reason I think you like Magic, or would like Magic more than here's a Mildred. The only reason I think I would like Magic more than most other modern games is because there's way more, like, let's be real, the people who design Magic are better at designing games than most other game designers, for the most part, right? So there's way more interesting things. We got the heebie-jeebie special out of Jeremy, chat. Every time I alt-tab from Cyberpunk to my other monitor, I cop shoot you. Wait, what? I've never played Cyberpunk, so I don't know what the hell. All right, Jeremy, bunching up. Little Thunder Rocks action. What are we looking at level-wise here? Ooh, our hero here is a little bit under-leveled by comparison. But with the heebie-jeebie special, little heebie-jeebie special action, they're screwing up the Sentinel line of sight. Oh, we got bad sheep. We also got Explode a Heart. Game, please. Let me click on the goddamn bad sheep for the love of God. Little bad sheep action, chat. Is bad sheep a good counter to Mildred? These are the true questions we need the answers to. I think, so, I want to give Jeremy, so Atona's comment is, I still think WoW is perfect, but I take Magic over a lot of games that try and get around resource issues or try to get cute with it. I think that I actually enjoy having resources, doesn't need to be lands, and I don't typically enjoy games that are just turbo comboing without restrictions. The thing is that most games don't do that. Like, they have some sort of resource constraint. Yu-Gi-Oh! In old Yu-Gi-Oh! Was kind of an exception. I don't know about modern Yu-Gi-Oh! But the reality is even Pokemon, which can allow for really busted turns, ultimately come down to you're trying to find certain tools and then funnel all the things you're doing down into a singular play. Or set of singular plays, not like, oh, I auto-win in a turn. Except for, like, late game stuff, but, like, that's, like, literally the end of the game. However, I generally agree with you that some of the more interesting things ultimately in games are proper resource utilization. And I still am of the opinion that Magic's is among the worst systems. Not because it's, well, I guess it's inherently bad, but it's also one of the earliest ones and things have become refined. I think the problem is that too many games wrap themselves up in, I'm Magic, but I fix the problem with lands, and then don't design anything interesting beyond that. It's like, okay, now you've smoothed out the curve. Like, if you stole WoW's resource system, anything can be a resource. Great. What are you doing interesting with it? Well, WoW had locations, ultimately, like, towards the early middle, but before that, they had quests right out of the gate, which allowed you to then constantly make sure that you were consistently hitting resource drops and had other things to do, and gave you the fuel. Like, I don't think people appreciated how important quests were. And I think if you just dumped, say, Hearthstone's resource system into a game and then didn't compensate with some other interesting mechanic, it's just like, all right, you're not doing anything. Like, there's no external pressure pushing you to be creative in deck building or gameplay loops or anything. It's just who can curve out the best. And you're essentially trading one kind of variance for another. Whereas the WoW system with quests says, hey, you could quest, take a tempo hit now for a later game advantage because you're drawing cards, you're getting other effects, you're doing whatever. Or you could not quest and continue to play your cards, try and really stretch, really push that tempo advantage. And there's a tension there that creates an interesting gameplay decision. That just straight up doesn't exist, which is a symptom to me of, well, the problem with Magic is the resource system. So I solve that and then everything's corrected. But that's not the only thing. Thing is, if you fix the lands, it also implies other things about the curve. Lands don't just allow you to play cards. It also changes how you build decks. Control needs more of them. Aggro needs less, etc. So if you just fix lands, all you've done is make non-aggro archetypes more consistent. That may or may not be a good thing. Exactly. Does anybody do the Phobies quest besides the 10 coffee one? Lots of people do. I don't. I've joked about this before, Quandavius. I don't remember the last time I've completed a quest. Yu-Gi-Oh! Completely remove resources. The weakness is that the game basically requires a coach to play. The weakness, as I understand it now for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that it requires reading several novels to understand your deck, let alone your opponent's deck, which is also several novels. For cards that are smaller than the standard poker size, 2.5 by 3.5 inches, they have an enormous amount of text. Now, Magic has also gotten to that point, but in the meantime, bringing it back to Phobies. This is supposed to be a Phobies stream after all, right? We got Jeremy here with Attractor Mildred. Here's the big question, chat. Are we going to get a 2-cost sheep? Because we have a 4 cost and a 6 cost. You could get a 5 cost sheep, I guess. But I think our hero here is going to say, come play with Mildred's cats whether you want to or not. I think that, I don't know, Atona, I can't really defend Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I haven't looked at it in a while, but the thing is that it's very simple to boil any game down to, well, you're all basically doing the same thing. Like in Phobies, it would be saying, well, you just want to kill all the opposing guy's stuff. How hard can that be? It's like, well, A, that's not the only win condition. B, it's obviously very complicated to try and set things up. And I think there are games that you can reduce into like a single sentence, and it's probably an accurate statement, but I don't want to sell it short, Yu-Gi-Oh! That is, only because I just don't know. Like, it's not too difficult to be hyper-reductive about a lot of games. And I do it myself, and I try not to. But easier said than done. So I have to imagine that we're getting a Gravedigger block into Yoink setup, or we're going to break this obstacle and then Yoink, and then try and set up a Mildred play. 8 costs like Jin Sting, triple AoE, no AoE have, more HP and main attack damage, but no extra ability. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Hercules, Kuro? There are worse Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules, Atona, that I actually won't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the way some of the rules are set up. For example, you can't fail a search in deck. If you search for something and you fail because it's not in there, that's actually a game loss. Don't quote me on that, but this is me going by what I've been told. All right, putting a little damage, a little pressure here on Inoculus. Honestly, I think Jeremy is kind of won at this point. They've officially bullied their opponent out of position. Arguably, you know, like the Inoculus can, of course, poke here. The bad sheep can come in, but this Yoink here on the heart is exactly what I was about to say. I didn't think they were going to get the damage for the kill, but they would have pulled it into position to get blown up. It's not a game loss. You're just not allowed to search. There's no way for you to know that, though. Like, if you just straight up make an error, how would you know? Bad guy making a play to kill the Attractor. But, yeah, about that Mildred. Honestly, I think Jeremy played this very well. We've seen Big She. I feel like Jeremy was in chat the other night when we were looking over some of the Swiss rounds. Somebody was in here and we saw Mildred a couple times, and then we were talking about Mildred from Big She and how that inspired, I'm assuming Jeremy here, to try and push Mildred on the ladder. But the Attractor Mildred combo, and here's the big thing that I think might get lost in this, especially since we're talking about so many other topics, is the appropriate use of Gravedigger allowing for the pushes. Now, admittedly, Bad Guy could have probably positioned a little bit better. I don't think, like, Bad Sheep was really what you wanted. The double heebie-jeebies special. This is awesome. Pop goes the Gravedigger, but guess what? That Mildred should be ready to go. Oh, that Mildred is ready to go. This is actually coming down to the wire. But Mildred has such an enormous AoE. even getting the retreat in here. Panic point advantage, bad guy. But realistically, this Mildred was kind of taking over the game. We did see Mildred unsuccessfully compete in Fright Night a couple times. Was it not Sisku they went Mildred against me? Well, we watched some games yesterday with Mildred also. But yeah, I think Sisku went Mildred against you today, right, Kuro? Mildred onto the heart. Bone mangles with the finish. Well played. GG, Jeremy. I know we were getting distracted during that game. But realistically, I think this was positioned pretty well. It was very patient, inching things up and not overextending. One of the big things I've seen people do, I mean, bad guy didn't properly counter. They never went Firkin. They never went any of the usual answers. We actually saw Repeller used to good effect to make sure that the rest of the Phobies were getting chipped down, and then eventually the Mildred gets isolated, and then it gets blown up. Neither of those things happened, and Jeremy was able to control the board, so well done. Opponent would check your deck. If the mistake is reasonable, something got banished face down, you would continue from there. And what happens at higher rules enforcement level? So, like, for example, if you have a one-of copy in your deck of whatever the thing is, we're talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, and you do a deck search, you tutor for something, that something is already known dead, like it's already in your discard. You technically, like, you can't fail the search. So one of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to get a game loss, probably at higher rules enforcement levels, or, I guess, at the local level, they'll just go, oh, whatever, and then shuffle the deck. The card will not resolve. But what does that mean? It just rewinds the game state? I mean, there are similar things that, like in Pokemon, you can't like 0 is not a number in Pokemon, for example. So like if a card says shuffle up to X number of cards from your discard into your deck, you must shuffle at least one. You can't even play it. Depends on, some cards will just go to the grave. I mean, that's most other games, like that's what will happen. You fail the search, you do the thing, and then it goes to the discard. But if it rewinds the game state, or it results in like a game loss or something, these are like, it's a meaningful difference from other games. Potenzia, what? Why? So they say it's a game against Alien Engineer, but it's from 218. And they didn't, like, I can't do these games. That's unfortunate. The only notes for this one are, ha. I feel like we've watched a ton of Renamon games on this map, prepping for the balance update with the Russell avatar. Let's get it. Skip. Yeah, we gotta skip the previous one. Get Hoovy in your collection while you're there? With what? Timeout. Renamon, what are you doing? What is happening right now? This is the punishment for not devoting our entire attention to the last game because we were talking about other stuff. We're going to go turn 1 Zappy into Sparky. Why? What is happening? Is this real life? Mech event, Hoovy is in this game? Alright. Okay, why does Wooly Bully have a lamprey mouth? If you watch Wooly Bully when he gets hit, he has a mouth like a lamprey. And if you don't know what a lamprey mouth looks like, you probably don't want to know. Hashtag just saying. Also, 5-1 panic point advantage. $417 damage power down. Wait, Honey Bear? It's like a rubber band? What? What rubber bands have teeth? Time out. What rubber bands have teeth? I don't know what rubber bands you're talking about. But the last time that I had to put a stack of anything together with a rubber band, they didn't have teeth. I don't know what the hell you are doing, Quandavius. It opens like a rubber band? What, his mouth? It opens like a mouth. What? I don't... What is happening? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What is happening? I guess braces are like rubber bands with teeth. I feel like that's stretching it. Ah! Get it? Because they're rubber bands, they're stretching it. His mouth is always open. So it's not actually a mouth, it's just like a permanently open orifice. Believe it or not, Wooly Bully's mouth is actually open right now. He just hides it with the sign. Chat, sometimes I wish the devs were here. And sometimes I'm glad they're not. Like, there are times when I'm like, I'm kind of glad the devs aren't here to hear this. Oh no! I would... Imagine the team meeting on Monday. Imagine the team meeting on Monday. Don't worry, I was paying attention to something else. Like, imagine the team meeting on Monday when they're like, hold on, I have something I'd like to add from the community. Why do rubber bands have teeth? A surprise dev. Hey, thanks for the bits, Sheesh. Thank you for the bits, Sheesh Positive. Oh my god. By the way, in the meantime, Renamon just getting their dick knocked in the dirt here. Like, this Hoovy better show up soon. Were you looking for a rubber band with teeth to hold your documents together? Wait, that's not a Hoovy. Okay, so hold on. This Wooly Bully has gotten a muffin and a Dr. Dermic. Like, I understand this was for the event, but this specific game was unhinged. Like, this is not normal. What is happening right now? Also, for the record, Rubber Bands with Teeth is 100% going to be the opening clip. They're electronic, but the project's root directory is coincidentally called Rubber Band with Teeth. Average Sum of All Fears 2 game based on my current experience? I mean, maybe. Oh my god. Chat, I've been having so much fun watching Phobies games that, like, I honestly haven't played. I mean, we played, like, one game the other night, but Rubber Band with Teeth would be a great band name. I was gonna say that. It sounds like a Muppet band. It 100% sounds like the competing band to Electric Mayhem. Why is there a fetch? I wish to retract my statements. It's too late. It's been entered into the court record, Quandavius. Yo! Hold on. What the hell is Hoovie's movement animation? What the hell is this? I know we gotta go through the whole turn, but, like... I've seen pictures of Hoovie. I didn't know that that was its movement animation. That is hilarious. I feel bad for Jeremy now, because, like, look at this. What is this? Whoa. Hoovie polishing their needle there. I don't know what we're looking for here, Koro. Other than just to demonstrate what Hoovie does. I want to see the animation. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it. That was 100% not what... Was it just puking on the floor or like leaking on the floor, or did it suck that up? I know a guy who puppeteered a Muppet, Gonzo. Also, he's part of a TV show called Magic Garden. Huh. Oh, do you have to click on... Wait, does Hoovie hover? Does Hoovie hover? It doesn't look like its feet are on the ground. Am I imagining things, Chad, or does it look like Hoovie's flying? Maybe it's just because it's short. So it like, goes up higher on the tile. You know what I mean? Oh, we got a game review. We got to do this one, chat. Normally we skip the game reviews, but we're gonna have time tonight, so we're gonna do this one. Hoovie is 6E. I thought it was 8. The shadow might be misplaced. It might be the shadow is throwing me off visually. It looks like Hoovie's flying, but I don't see any reason why Hoovie would fly. Biased? Maybe. Maybe. Admittedly, we did have room for one because we had to skip the Potenzi one. GG, Renamon. A lot of laughs in that game, including our intro, because Rubber Bands with Teeth is definitely happening. All right. Ooh, we got a high stress level game here, chat. We got a pretty high stress level game. My dad said he got some good use out of Doom in this one. All right, let's see. Let's see. Hoovie seems to be too good to only be a 6 key. I'm curious. Whoa. What? We kind of like phased in here. I'm guessing this was a... Gotta love the Morty. The Morty snipe. All right, so I'm assuming here Diablo is our hero. I don't know which one's actually our hero here, but we're going to find out. So operating under the assumption Diablo's our hero, we've got bad guy opening stuff up with a gravedigger. I love the Morty, honestly, just because... So Morty was my first... Diablo's the hero? All right, how ironic. Morty was my first ultra rare out of a seasonal pack. I think it's my only ultra rare out of a seasonal pack. And honest to God, what level's a Morty? Honest to God, I kind of kept forgetting that Morty existed. But this is a level 17 Morty, so over 1,000 damage, which, by the way, as we pointed out, the other night when we were doing the balance hot takes. 1,036 health and 1,036 damage. It just feels nice. It does nice things mentally when all the numbers line up. Down goes the cat. We're going to replace with a bachelor. We're going to get some, a little bit of the Droney family flying around the map. Ooh, maybe not. Yeah, I can't get behind Temptress. Come on. Like, let's be real here. Your coffin has arrived. We need a Morty kill counter. 2 kills up. Now all we need now is 1036 movement and 1036 range. Yeah, something like that. It snipes you on Phasmophobia while you're playing on Step Right Up. Little Finnegan action, the honorary good boy. I'm going to make a shirt, chat, with sharks on it that says sharks are good boys too. Getting the aggro bachelor. I don't know about that one, bad guy. This one's kind of interesting. I would have said just kill it with the Henrietta and then move the Henrietta on the point. However, did this have to... There's probably a trap here, right? Oh, Giraffula. You're about to have a bad day. Giraffula is also going to be a t-shirt, chat. Ouchtown population bat guy. Inoculus doing Inoculus things. Ooh, 4-2 panic point advantage. Our hero on the ropes at the moment. Morty just taking a quick coffee break. After the balance change, that play will work? True. Well, assuming the levels line up. But yes, true. That is a big deal, and honestly, one of the bigger deals, I think, in the balance patch. Aside from all the movement speed changes, which we went over. If you're interested in my hot takes on the balance patch, go check out that video. Help me out with the views. It is right now, when I last checked, one of the higher videos. Gaston, thank you for the earlier follow. Get a little bees action. Bog King incoming? I assume you're... I had to think for a second. I'm like, Boggart, maybe? Does the Phobies team have statistics on how many spatulas died to traps? I'm going to go with 0. How many batulas? Probably a good number. I have to imagine more than were necessary. Bad guy going with a little trapper action. We're getting a block here. Honestly, I'm not sure what the Finnegan's purpose was up to this point. I guess the intent was eventually to boop things onto the disease tiles, but I don't know. Now I have this vision in my head of like people trying to activate like bear traps with a spatula and just it getting snapped in half. Oh no. Not like this. 2 different 1 keys going down to traps in the same place. Soon we'll see forks. Forks drying to traps? Chat, are you okay? Like, I can't always tell if people are intentionally doing these things to meme or there's something wrong. Makes perfect sense. I mean, technically, the fire ant traps could dry a fork. The more consecutive chomp streams, the lower chat IQ is. True. Apparently, I'm stealing all your IQ points. Doom! Here is the aforementioned Doom. And to be perfectly honest, like, I kind of get it at this point. There's triple trapper, 2 of them Fire Ant and Poison Ivy. That's bad news. It'd be bad news. Boomer. Ted is going to be pissed. The fire traps will dry everything. True. What the hell is this Temptress doing? Like, I don't... Has this Temptress done anything? I guess it capped this point at the top. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is. I still want the Sausage Boy. There's gonna be a lot of memes when that guy releases, chat. Oh my god, who could have thunk it? Temptress. Snipe. Okay, real talk. Was Temptress on the list of the devs saying that they looked at it but everything was fine? Was that on the list? Because I have a hard time believing the Temptress is okay. I mean, in this case, I guess it technically traded positively because you traded Temptress for a Gin Sting, and I'll be honest, I would much rather have the Gin Sting, like 99 times out of 100. But big old Chuck Boy, definitely going to pair well with this Doom Doom because walking into, like, a Poison Ivy trap would be bad news bears, right? That is not going to be a good time. Really? That is a very aggressive Chuck. I was expecting the Chuck to walk up 1 to hit the Poison Ivy, but taking it down with a combination of attacks from Innocuous and the Morty. Admittedly, Morty does over 1,000 damage a clip. That seems pretty good. Day 1 of asking for a map creator? It isn't day 1, trust me. People have been asking for that since, like, day -1. It would be cool for it to happen, but I have to imagine that it's an enormous amount of work to make it come together. 2 keys to 2 keys remaining. Morty finally bites the dust. Some person made one a few months back. There was one, but not... I mean, it lets you design the maps, but I mean, you could do that with a variety of tools. Where is bad guy putting traps? Seriously, like, where is bad guy putting traps? Has this Doom Doom found a single trap yet? Mind games. That would be the ultimate mind game. Just like, you put 4 trappers on the board, but never actually place any traps. Your opponent will be going berserk. Except they'll probably just win because you never put traps on the board. Whoop. Oh, Jesus. I accidentally hit the wrong button. You know, you don't often see the Doom Doom getting hit animation. Makes a map with only disease tiles everywhere, so locker room funk but disease tiles. I had 3 games with a Fire Ant and no traps, and you won them. Hey, Doom Doom found a trap! Good boy! Bad guy just hemorrhaging Phobies at this stage. Our hero still with a healthy heart total. Gravedigger, what's good? Admittedly, this heart push could be a challenge only because getting the Chuck into position is going to take some time. So is the Innocuous. Okay, so bad guy... Got to thread the needle here. Who's the bad guy? Bad guy is our orange player. Diablo's our hero here. I'm honestly surprised we didn't get the Innocuous pulling back as well to try and hard defend, because, like, killing off either the Fire Ant or the Gin Sting effectively ends the game. Realistically, I think the game is over in favor of our hero anyway. Bad guy's getting thrashed? Yeah, I mean, this Chuck, it was kind of putting in work. However, I think it's just hilarious that, like, this Doom Doom went 3 or 4 turns not seeing a damn trap. All right, I have to admit that the Tickles animation for eating a trap is way better than Doom Doom's. It is way cooler. All right, I assume we're going to chase down the Jin Sting here. So the Fire Ant can go onto the Panic Point itself, and then that's about it. I wonder why Trap Absorber didn't get a buff, heals for absorbing a trap. Honestly, I think if Doom Doom got like a slight stat buff, it would be fine. The issue for me with Doom Doom is the same as buffing Charon. You don't want to displace things like Hevo, because ultimately Hevo is just a stat stick, whereas both Charon and Doom Doom offer additional utility. So there has to be either a bonus for being vanilla or a penalty for having the utility. So if that is the case, you can't push one or the other too much in a particular direction, because otherwise you invalidate one of them. But well played, Diablo. This was very well done. Very patient game, and I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell bad guy was doing. Or just buff movement. I mean, you could do that. Could do that. Can't submit a game in the spreadsheet? I don't know why you can't. Spreadsheet is open for submissions. That's how we're watching these. Well, not this one in particular, but... Bad guy recognizing the inevitable. Cooks their own Fire Ant. Going out under their own terms. Well done. Well done. GG. Not bad. Not bad. Did definitely get some mileage out of that Doom Doom, although I think I don't know what the hell bad guy was doing with some of the trap placement. It felt like there was never a trap in a reasonable position. All right, we go from Phasmophobia to Transaction Decline. Karst, our hero here, pretty cool boss trap. Note that if he does not take the bait, Gargles can block along the top and let Hydra pass to the heart. Karst, of course, always trying to do cool stuff. The originator of the high five push on this particular map in question. Okay, I was looking at the spreadsheet, chat. What the hell? Why did bad guy do this? Why did they do this? Why didn't they just take the bottom Panic Point? Can somebody explain that? Like, I legitimately don't understand. So Karst has also recently been doing stuff like this, where they just bank early on. And the suggestion was on, I want to say Fornacify, just straight up banking to Fire Ant, for example. But in this case, we're getting an early Inoculus online. The Inoculus and Snowball clean up the cat. Karst, like the high five play kind of utilized these 3-1 keys that are coming down now. And the idea was you put early pressure on your opponent, and then eventually you whittle down the heart, pop out high five, and then connect with the high five on the heart. And it's all she wrote very quickly. Sockassin actually connects with an undead. 480 poison damage. Life leech or not, that's going to add up. Inoculus even able to get some pot shots here. It's possible for both of these to go down, but probably unlikely. Well, maybe not unlikely, because this should be able to hit both. The bad guy instead is electing to go and pop the Bachelor. 8 keys. Level abusing Karst. Little boss action. Get it in while you can. That boy is getting nerfed. I mentioned it in the hot takes. I'm a little concerned that the nerf might be too much. We'll see how it plays out. I know people hate boss, and they really want to see boss go down in flames. Ironically enough. However, boss does have a purpose. Boss does have a purpose, and we'll have to see how this plays out. Karst also with 8 keys. Quick snipe there on the tickles. Notably, a tickle's coming out from bad guy. I still think somebody get Tickle some Visine. Little gargles action. This can't die, can it? Oh. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So the walk-up was just to get the slap and then the slide back. I was thinking that the snowball was going to come running out and fireball. Hey, it's just all the phobies that are getting nerfed. So we do have the Gargles play, which if you recall from the notes, there was a boss trap here. So that cup... Oh, my God. Wow. That's a lot of damage from a level 18 cupcake. Boss goes in. Is this enough? I don't think this is enough to cook it. Oh, no. You can't let the scent... What? How is that... Oh, it's a level 20 innocuous. Oh, my God. Level 20 boss plus level 18 cupcake equals not enough to kill the innocuous. But look at this! Karst locking... You're not locked in here. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. It helps when you can get the quote out. Struggling. Trapping the boss. We saw a play similar to this in Fright Night earlier today. Boss going to try and melt the Hydra. Hercules, you are not... I agree with the main Discord, though. I'm a little disappointed that the new phobia is called Hercules and not Hercubes. I also still cannot find which of Hercules' 13 labors... 12 labors? 12 labors of Hercules. Pretty sure it was 12. It's been a little bit, chat. Involved bees. So I'm very curious as to why this thing is named Hercules. Either way, down goes boss. Hydra's gonna pay with its life, but the car still has 3 keys remaining. And a panic point advantage. Well, no longer. What 12 labors did Jin Sting perform to be called Hercules? You don't want to know. Misanthrope. That guy's getting buffed. Well played, Karst. Definitely trapped their opponent. Baited them into the trap. I like the challenge play to escape, but yeah, that's not quite good enough. Plenico actually got a second heal off. That's wild. And then there was only Innocuous. Still sad the designers changed Frosty's ability from Freeze Ray to Blizzard. I thought I came up with the perfect name. I think Freeze Ray, because I think I actually saw Karst, ironically enough, complaining about that earlier today and was upset that the puns have kind of taken a back seat. I don't know what it would take to rename abilities. I imagine it's similar to redoing the text, so it would essentially equate to like a rework because you'd have to redo the card and then redeploy it and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's a worthwhile change. We should start a petition, chat, to get the name redone. Hashtag bring back Freeze Ray. Get it? Because he freezes people and it's a manta ray. All right, chat. We got a SuccubusAloo game. We're back on transaction declined. Almost lost the game, but Bad Omen did me well last turn. That was cold for the devs to get rid of Freeze Ray. Got him. I'm quitting. Ain't no way Freeze Ray was the original. I'm quitting Phobies over this. Like, chat, I think, seriously, I'm not trolling right now. I'm not trolling right now. Everyone who's watching this here in the live Twitch stream or when you watch this back on YouTube, go to the official Phobies Discord, make a suggestion that you want the name of the ability changed from Blizzard to Freeze Ray. I want to see if we can make this happen. I want to see this happen. I'm not trolling right now, chat. Go do it. Every single one of you should submit a separate suggestion and then upvote all the other ones. We'll have like hundreds of suggestions to change the name. I really want this to happen. I think it would be hysterical. You can go ahead, pause the stream. Just alt-tab out. It's fine. I won't mind. Pause the video if you're watching on YouTube. Go to the official Discord. Go into the suggestion section. Talk to Vendy. Say, I want the ability changed from Blizzard to Freeze Ray. I want more puns. All right, Succubus coming back to the game. More standard opener here. More standard. We're getting a little innocuous action. As of late, people have been saying that, oh, well, nobody realized how good the Sentinels are. And all I can think is, what planet have you been on? Repeller, I can kind of get behind that people are higher on Repeller now than they were in the past. But realistically, Innocuous and Attractor have pretty much universally been regarded as powerful phobies for a very long time. I don't feel like this is a revelation to anybody who's been around since they've been here in full disclosure, or even since then. I am out of water, chat. I never knew they were called the Sentinels, so I learned that recently, or relearned it, because I'm pretty sure somebody told me that, because I kept calling them the Quadrupods, and then, I don't know if it was Eric or it was Talarian, but somebody corrected me on it. It's like, oh, they're actually called the Sentinels. Because they're supposed to be, inspired by the Sentinels from the Matrix, and you can, if you've seen the Matrix, like, you can kind of see it. Slated to transform Gargles, Hydra, and Blondie. Captured in a rage, Mr. Tramples. I'm too lazy, so we get 3 Phobies labors Hercules did. Slay to transform Gargles, Hydra, and Blondie. Captured in a rage, Mr. Tramples. What other labors would apply to Phobies? I'd have to look them up. I couldn't name all the labors off the top of my head. Little gonzo action from our hero here. Getting it in while you can. Soon to be nerfed. Resisted a meeting with boss. That's one of the labors. Panic point advantage for our hero. Going to be a triple panic point advantage once again. Like, oh, survived a meeting with boss. Fair. Do a Kamehameha. Honestly, bad guy's just kind of getting bodied here. How did you almost lose this game? I mean, it's got to go south pretty quickly from here. Oh, so you probably lose the corn here, right? No? Okay. Wait, really? Okay, so the corn doesn't die. 9 keys to 6. I mean, the erratic is problematic. The erratic could pose an issue. But we even get the heal on the corn here. Honestly, there's a world in which I think you might want to put the Gonzo, like advance the Gonzo so that it could threaten the heart. The reason being is, or even put the, move the, no, because you had to attack with the Inoculus. I was going to say move the Inoculus up and poke the heart. But if you put the Gonzo up, yeah, it'll be out of range to buff, but it is just pressuring them. Although I guess you're not necessarily in a better position than you would be this turn. Slayed a glob from within. Successfully got a cob from the unicorn minefields. Wait, what? All right, we're sniping the jar. Blinky. How did you almost lose? Like, when do you almost lose? Are you just trolling in the notes here? We have time after all the submitted games. We should check out some more X Cosmos 99. That's not a bad idea. Boom, connections here. This will not die to the fire. Blinky being gross and slapping the crap out of that guy. I don't love the droney because the droney is just going to die from splash, isn't it? I mean, it's definitely got to die between the fire and a hit from Snowball, I would think. But 0 keys is 0 keys. Erratic full health once again. Pretty damn close anyway. Bad guy playing this pretty well. They can't really risk anything. But I do like the Blinky aggression. Get the power down from Bad Omen. Only 193 damage. 50 damage on the heart. Can bad guy not... Oh, yeah. They're just hosed here because either they go after the Blinky or they relinquish a panic point. Well, if they go after the Blinky, they relinquish a panic point. Hilariously enough. That's gonna happen in a decent number of games where the push tiles cause the conveyor tiles cause that to happen. But GG, yeah, I get almost throwing that game away, but at the same time, you had such an enormous lead that you had so many options there, Succubus. GG. GG. I think we got somebody new here, chat. I feel like this person came up in chat earlier today, and I don't know why. I don't remember why, but Noobsim, I believe, is new to game reviews. Our hero here, pretty cool match, how to counter Wuffalo Will and Puff. First of all, who the hell is going Wuffalo Will? Full stop. Second of all, who is going Wuffalo Will on Locker Room Funk? That takes some enormous stones. Like, enormous stones. Then, 3, Wuffalo Will on Locker Room Funk with Puff. that's some things that can happen. So shout out to the Avatar game here. Game recognizes game. Starting out with a little Jill and Ted's Excellent Adventure here. I'm not a huge fan of that opener. Puff is good. I mean, Puff is good, yes, but on this map in particular, I could see it putting in work, but it's just a very abnormal thing to see. So here comes Puff. Bad guy maybe had this opener lined up. Like, this is the thing. Jill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I mean, I had assumed that was part of the joke. Like, there's multiple levels of stuff going on with Jill and Ted. Like, there's so many different jokes that are embedded in those phobies. Not that there isn't in other ones, but like Jill and Ted feel like there's just a lot. Jill is a murderer. We don't know that she murdered Ted. Maybe it's like a Romeo and Juliet thing. I do want to know, though. Ted has 3 toes. Jill only has 2 toes. However, between them, they have 9 toes. There are 4. And there are 5. Maybe 6 if you count the little one on the right foot. His right. We don't know that she killed him, only that she ripped his heart. We don't know that she ripped the heart out. She just has his heart. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't look good. Look, if you were showing up to that crime scene, it's not going to look good. But all I'm saying is we need all the evidence. Maybe they were already dead and Ted gave her a heart on purpose. I mean, yeah, if they were zombies. I don't need this anymore. Here, it just like, here's the Valentine's Day gift. And she's like, this is gross. Ted either has a massive heart or a regular heart in a small body. I mean, it's quite clearly supposed to be his heart. Look at the hole in his chest. But as requested, we got a little Buffalo Will action. We got a little Buffalo Will action. All right, the newly deads have had to shuffle around to avoid these tiles so many times, but finally, Jill gets poisoned. Cowbell ending one half of the relationship. Hold on, the notes did not mention Dozer. Probably just an unusually realistic heart-shaped box of chocolates. I mean, obviously. Look, you can't tell me that there isn't, like, a novelty store that sells actual anatomically correct heart-shaped boxes of chocolates. I guarantee that exists somewhere. This is a big world. Let's be real. That has to exist. I'm not going to be the person to Google it, because I feel like that's going to put you on a list. But I'm sure that exists. All right, so it's Parasite and Whale plus Dragon versus Gozer and the Molotov cocktail party itself. It beats like a real heart too. Chad, have you guys never seen Jill or Ted? Like, is this the first time you're seeing them? Don't get me wrong. I love talking about all the Phobies details. We were talking about this the other night. I love all the art and the obvious care that went into all of the Phobies details for their idle animations, for the movement animations, for the attack animations. You know what Will Buffalo reminds me of? The Bug from Men in Black, who is wearing the Edgar suit. Because if you watch the movement animate, like the creepy arms that are sticking out of the gills on the whale will reach up and, like, scratch, and you can see the skin of the whale move. See? Like, he just did it. So we got the walk the Waffalo plan coming in. That's a second puff breath. Okay, so we walk the Waffalo to cap a panic point. Chat, that's a Gonzo'd K9000. A man's flinging some nukes here. Dozer puking on Puff. Is Waffalo cooked? Waffalo's not cooked. Puff is 100% a chef. Well, he's certainly trying to be a baker here. Ted's got that undead Riz. Alright, so we stole the Gonzo. Does it reset the cooldown? It doesn't. I didn't expect it to, but it would have been kind of cool. Hilariously hitting their own Gonzo. Chat, you're having way too much fun with the whole Jill Ted thing. So this is part of the reason why I always say that this doesn't matter. Wait, why is this? Oh, it got poisoned by creep. I was like, why did the tainted ground have such a high poison? But it didn't actually have a high poison. But yeah, Dozer's just kind of tanking it there. Dozer just knocking the crap out of creep here. This was a very weird game. What does the flying mini fridge do? So sorry I missed that one. That's actually paddles. So it's a God, I can't think of the name of it right now, but you know, clear, they shock people. Why can't I think of it? I'm having like a serious brain fart because I'm tired, chat. Yeah, but what's the actual name? Defibrillator. There we go. My wife was telling me the acronym. Yes, I couldn't think of it. Thank you, chat. Like, stuff like that annoys me, where it's just like, I know this word. Why is it just, like, it's on the tip of my tongue and it's escaping me? Dozer just taking a quick nap. It's a mini fridge, obviously. It's a flying mini fridge. GG. Well done. Noobsim takes it down. That was a weird game, chat. That was a weird-ass game. Hi, baby. You going? Oh? Lifting? There you go, chat. Oh, whoop. You can kind of see her. Harley. Harley, good girl. Pretty baby. She's a good girl. The real content is here. It's true. It's true. She's such a good baby. And no, chat, I'm not going to name If I get another dog, I'm not going to name it Snowball. All right, what do we got here? You didn't... No, this one's from yesterday, so it should still be here. Dino Nuggy, forgetting to favorite their game. Nah, it doesn't matter. It's still on the profile, thankfully. I don't know how I didn't win this game, and I'm still mad about it. Well, shout out to... Excuse me. Shout out to Dino Nuggy submitting that one. Always good when people send in the L's, because we get a lot of highlights, but it's good to take a look at your games. What if it had red hair? What, a dog with red hair? Because he's going to name it Finnegan. Oh, this game? Okay. Batman, Joker can't take people's hearts and make anatomically... Wait, what? Joker, you can't take people's hearts and make anatomically correct Valentine's chocolates. I feel like that probably happened in the comics. There's been a lot of Batman and Joker comics. That game won't be the last you'll see of Ted and Jill tonight. We've seen a lot of Ted and Jill over the last couple days, surprisingly. Yes, DT is correct. I missed your question, Dual Track. But if you stack poisons, the newest poison will overwrite the previous one, except for the tiles. So if you poison and then somebody steps on the tiles, I'm like 99% sure that the tile will not overwrite the actively applied poison. So you can't use the poison tiles to, like, pseudo-cleanse your phobie, even though it doesn't, like, fully cleanse it. Name it Fire Cube? No. So Dino Nuggy here is basically doing my strategy. You get the Crushmore in place, and you just start shelling the crap out of the heart. Now, Bad Guy is doing their own rendition of it with Hevo. However, Hevo A has lower damage output. Levels withstanding. B does not lock out your opponent's defense. So in this case, there's no way for Bad Guy to approach this. However, Bad Guy still does have their Terraformer up here. They can eventually block it out. They could break this block that way that the Inoculus can get in. But we're getting a little creep vomit going down, creep burpage landing on the Snowball. This is up, though. So I imagine this is how Dino ends up losing this game. If this block comes in, this is 11 keys that's locked out of doing nothing. That being said, our hero should have an advantage. Huh, really? Okay. Alright, so we do have the block coming in. Our hero has the advantage of already being in position. They have the higher damage phobie. We'll just double check levels real quick. That's a level 9. Can't click on it, so this is a level 8. So 424 versus 496. And Dino Nuggy's already been in position for multiple turns. They have the jar to supplement. All things are pointing towards Dino Nuggy at this point. Oh, and if the Hevo comes up here, you can splash off of this to still chain. The main thing here is there is an opening for Bad Guy to shoot the gap and take this panic point, which it looks like they're going to do. Maybe. The Ender of Worlds. That's just like a lot to yell when you want to call them to come in from the backyard. So it looks like Bad Guy's going to get the classic anti-erratic answer in Sheep. I mean, look at this. 2374. Like, this is game next turn, I think. Fireball is down. Gravedigger's not in range. I don't think there's any way they can kill this. Oh, not going for the fart explosion, but panic point advantage goes bad guy's way. Admittedly, bad guy got a free 5-key kill by having this spider just kind of trapped in the corner doing nothing. Just keep watching the heart. I have to imagine that... Alright, so we do pop this. I have to imagine this is going to be just short. $20 health! Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 2 Phobies. Are you unable to kill this Jin Sting? This was not worth it. This was completely unnecessary, this droney. So your win condition here is just kill the heart, which, I mean, duh, right? Your only priority should be killing this Jin Sting. Because their priority is killing the Jar and the Crushmore. If they're able to do that, they stabilize. Yeah, I think the mistake was right here. If you spend your 10 keys killing this Jin Sting, you win the game. You don't care about this. This is irrelevant. After I saw the 20 health, I just gave up. But you didn't need to. Never give up. Never surrender. Actually, there are times to just give up and surrender. But this was not one of them. This was not one of them. Yeah, in this case, if you had just protected this down, like, only one of them needed to live. Only one of them needed to live. It didn't matter which one. And you didn't care about what happened up here because you have such an enormous heart health lead that, like, they could have all the panic points, technically. All that matters is that you have 2 guys in range of their heart. Successful Sparky connection. Down goes Erratic. Ogre. Okay, so another thing was, I think that the murder wing should not have been where it was. It needed to be below the Snowball and Gonzo here, because you could clear the pet. Well, actually, no. If it was there, it wouldn't have been able to reach, so I guess that didn't matter. Ogre did not need the buff. I mean, this guy needs to chill with the steroids. Is the pull-up you could cap points? Possibly. You could have used Gravedigger to pull Erratic, took a 3-to-1 panic point advantage. There were a few different ways to do this. Yeah, if you pull the Erratic here, you could claim 3 points. But at this stage, that's a lot of bodies against a soul spider. Onion Boy. Cassowary Murderwing would have killed the Jin Sting and remained as threats after if the game continued. From the one turn, like, the kill the Jin Sting turn. I mean, there were a lot of different points where I think you could have flipped it around, Dino. Definitely a very close game. I think it was very well executed in the beginning. I can definitely understand getting frustrated when the offensive was stopped, but you still had openings. You still had openings. But GG. All right, chat. I got to take a quick break. We got a few more on deck, and then we'll clear out this particular set. Yeah, we'll put this one up. All right, chat. I'll be right back. Don't go away. All right, chat. We're back. It's funny. I was just talking to my wife. This weekend is a pre-release for Star Wars Unlimited, new Star Wars card game that's coming out. I'm actually pretty excited for it. Although it's unfortunate because it's like we were starting out at the top. A lot of games that I'm excited about are being created and produced by companies that are known to be awful. However, the ones that are doing well are not good games, in my opinion. So it just kind of sucks. Did I play Force Collection? I don't think I've ever even heard of that. Is it a card game or what is it? Excuse me. All right, next up, we got a little positive play action coming at you on Mysomania. Good game versus Rush. All right. I love Duelist myself. I like Duelist as well. I haven't played Duelist 2. My big issue with Duelist in general is a lot of the game has kind of moved to, and I don't know if this is true since I haven't played Duelist 2 in a while, but my big issue with Duelist 1 and my brief stint with Duelist 2 was a lot of the game came down to oops, I win scenarios, and it essentially was guessing, well, if they have this, they win. So I'm going to do this. But then if they have this other combo, they win. It's just, okay, do you have it after a certain number of turns? And it's always like, I'm going to deal 20 plus damage out of hand. You force your opponent into the collection. That's what Force Collection is. What? What? So we have a late Gravedigger from Positive into an early Attractor. This is kind of an interesting play with the ones into the delayed setup. Could you not have just... I guess it doesn't matter. Because then you wouldn't be able to send the one key to the center anyway. I feel like you're better off. Early, it's a turn late. Well, that's kind of where I'm going with it. So, the Attractor is about as early as it's going to be. Because that was turn 2. But the Gravedigger could have come out on turn 1 and still produce the same board state. Like, there was no reason to not pop that out. I mean, either way, we're going to get a early Akira, turn 3 Akira. Is this dead? This has to be dead, right? Okay, yeah. I was going to say, like, if you're doing this poll, this is a good heads-up play from Bad Guy to snipe the enemy Attractor, but I think you're just going to end up trading Attractors here. Late Akira, it's terrible. Turn 4? I don't think it's possible to get it quicker unless you skip everything else. Right? Like, if you play anything on the first couple of turns, you just can't play Akira. Could have had it turn 4. You did have it turn 4. I'm confused. What? Yes, you could have had it set, but that's what I'm saying. If you play anything else, then you can't put it out there. Like, the very fastest is, yes, you do nothing turn 1, you play Akira turn 2. I don't know if that's necessarily advantageous. While Akira is important to get on the board, which, by the way, these are some wild-ass turns. We go Attractor into Akira into Akira. Cassowary getting sandwiched there and becoming a sandwich, respectively. Boom with a double kill. The carnage is real, chat. 10,000 IQ turns, just murder everything. That's what's happening here. Just slaughtering everything. So yeah, Gravedigger's gonna go down. No surprise there. There was no way that guy was escaping with his life. Panic point advantage in favor of a bad guy. I know why Henrietta does that, because spiders do that. A lot of animals will try and make themselves appear bigger when threatened, and spiders will do that. They'll rear up and pick all their legs up, which is why Henrietta sticks its arms up. Also, it looks creepy as hell when it's moving and it's doing this. But I can't unsee Henrietta just waving at you or like it's at a concert just swinging its arms when it does that. It's not a spider, wrong number of body segments. How many segments are really in there? Like, I can't really tell if these are abs or actually segments, but regardless, it's a spider of the mind. None of these things are actually what they are, you know what I mean? This is just what somebody who has arachnophobia sees in their head. It's kind of like when you have a dream and you know it's somebody, like a specific person in your dream, or a specific animal in your dream, or a specific place in your dream, but it doesn't look right because, you know, it's in a dream. But it's clearly that thing. Like, you know that it is. Oh my god. The jar surviving with, like, the magic pixel. 5 health! 1 segment equals crustacean. Bees. Alright, the jar doesn't live. Down goes the jar of pee. Yo, when they said aggressive in the notes, they were not kidding. Look at this. Get a little Mr. Tramples action. What level is opponent's Akira? That's a level 18 Akira. This is a level 16 jar. That really feels like overkill on that Contortio, I'm not gonna lie. Corn! Corn! Crustaceans are segmented like all arthropods. See, we're getting a biology lesson. Little Gonzo action to snipe the Akira. Do we have Akira coming up for... Akira looks like it's live. Yo! Oh, I thought Tramples was going to do this, the charge off of the stem. I mean, it still can. This doesn't look good for our hero, does it? I guess you pull everything in. That lets you get double hit. Oh, you're going to get the hit off the stem, too. All right. All right, I see where this is going. Thank you for the stem. Get bodied. Down goes Tramples. Akira from the spa, lighting up Jin Sting's world. Down goes Gonzo. Big panic point advantage. But we're also talking big map. That's probably close to 4,000 health still left. Oh, by the way, Unicorn's still on the stim. Lol. Down goes Jin Sting. That's going to be the end of Stabby. Well played. Well played. That was a very aggressive push by bad guy. Got punished pretty hard because Akira's a thing. GG. Akira is, in fact, a thing. Hey, there's the Cosmos game. All right, Gravedigger. All right, Billy's room. Ted, Jill, and Mummy on Billy's room strategy was actually pretty great. What if Stabby held a knife, aka Stabby? Well, I mean, Stabby is getting stabbed by all of those needles, so still kind of fits. Didn't even need my cupcake? True. You're able to take it down without cupcake because lol Akira. Wait, what? Why? Why? What is happening? Look, just because Valentine's Day just passed recently doesn't mean that we need, all, like, the Newly Deads. We don't have to have the Newly Deads. I think what I like about the Newly Deads the most is Ted's top hat. I think Ted's top hat makes me laugh the most. Like, I think his pseudo Wolverine claws look cool, but I think the top hat makes me laugh the most. Honestly, you probably could have left the Ted here. Not that your opponent ever would have walked the Jill into range while Ted was there. But by pulling it back, there was no chance for you to, like, step on the bones and step off. Not that it, again, would have mattered because the jar was in position off a stem, so. I just realized one of Ted's fingers is broken. Yeah. Ted kind of had a rough day. I'm not going to lie. Ted had a rough day. You look at his fingers. You look at his chest cavity. Dude, are the Newly Deads gonna light up the mucus monster? The Newly Deads just beating the crap out of the mucus monster. That's a dead Quagmire. All right. My favorite thing about the Newly Deads is how Ted's heart is still beating in Jill's hands. It's true. If you watch carefully, it does still beat, which is wild. Does it? Here's the question. Does the heart beat if it's just Jill on the board? We could probably go back and look at Bad Guy's Jill. Wait, is this the same bad guy, Dino Nuggy? Oh, you're right. It is. You are correct. That means that bad guy gets a win and a loss tonight. You can see it now. It's still beating. You're right. It does still beat. That would be a cool thing if, like, it was only beating when Ted was on the board. I mean, they do have the other hearts pop up, so, like, there is an animation for it. And here comes Mummy Imhotep himself. I haven't watched that movie in a long time, chat. My wife is saying that she has. I don't think she has. She's lying. I don't know if you guys can hear her. She's getting pissed. Ooh, got a lot of stuff going down on this Mummy, but this Mummy is hanging on. This Mummy's had better days, but he's hanging on. And how much damage does this do? This does over 1,000 damage. This guy hits like a truck. Getting the yoink. Little bees action. Just like that, up above 1,300 health. And a mini-me. Notably, Hevo not dead, but that Hevo stays, it's dead. Truck Phobie when? Mummy hits like a truck on steroids. Would steroids affect a truck? I'm not a mechanic, but I don't know if steroids work on trucks. I'm not a mechanical engineer. But something tells me HGH is not actually going to affect a semi. Optimus Prime, new Phobie? They do, Source, trust me. It's the Twitch meme, trust. Jar doing its best, getting one final takedown, but that mini-me's a-coming. That mini-me has a very fast, like, breathing animation. It feels like it moves a lot more than other Phobies. But either way, GG Gravedigger. I mean, HGH might impact a semi if you have enough of it in the fuel, but it's not going to make it run better. Yeah, I guess saying will it affect it is a little different, because by definition, it will probably affect it. Just like if you put enough water in the gasoline, it's going to affect it. It's not going to end well, but it's going to affect it. All right, we're looping back in because we're going to clear out the list if we can. We got a little SuccubusAloo action. Another game with a late Bad Omen. One of the top connects with Bad Omen. Let's see. Can we do a game review request? Just add it to the spreadsheet. We probably will only do the one extra, though. There's one in there for Renamon after this. So we'll probably do that and then close it up for tonight. We did have the spare one for Eric since they were here, but usually it goes through the spreadsheet for Sundays because it's viewer game reviews. What do we got here? We got a little innocuous action, not really surprising on this map. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this map. I was kind of memeing about it earlier saying I don't like it, but I think I just actually don't like it. I don't think I'm really a fan of this map. Don't think I'm a fan of this map. We need to see a Markin/Alien Engineer game on Noughts and Crosses too. I may just record that one offline rather than do it live, to be honest. I'm not sure. I mean, if somebody wants to submit it and put it into the viewer game sheet, we can add it for next week. I'm probably not going to do that tonight. Like, it's just getting too late. So the aggro push here on the heart actually did some damage. I mean, our hero's in a pretty decent spot here. Okay, I was going to say, like, if you could kill this with the Gravedigger, just get it with the Gravedigger. Don't go with the Spud and then push with the Spud. Pressure more. Although you would lose the Spud, so maybe not. The Gravedigger didn't... Wait. Nah, never mind. I was going to say, maybe you could triple cap and then push with the Spud and you just end the game, but I don't think you do. I think you'll end up hemorrhaging your entire board position and losing. Tickles with the takedown. We've been seeing this a lot, the break into innocuous sniping things play. It's more likely than you think. Trading Spud for Boom is a bold play there, Cotton. Because that's effectively what's going to happen here. Admittedly, the Cassowary is not going to survive. Ooh, Cassowary going deep. Good heads-up play from bad guy, sniping the Innoculus. However... Oh, excuse me. You got to burn the snowball in order to try and stabilize here as bad guy. 1572 left on the heart. Some quick takedowns, picking stuff off. Panic point advantage in our hero's favor. 6 keys to 3. I mean, this is going to come down to panic points. All right, good heads-up play by bad guy there. Trying to prevent the Daisy from just getting easy connections. This is going to make life complicated, so Succubus can't just immediately claim this unless they use, like, Droney or something. I guess they could use their own snowball. Nope, being a little more patient, we're going to go with Boomer. All right, and there's the Bad Omen. There's the aforementioned Bad Omen. This one feels kind of standard, honestly. Bad guy dug themselves a fairly enormous hole, allowing so much damage to happen. But look at this Bad Omen hit. Whoa. Bad Omen. That's an enormous Bad Omen. Like, that solidifies a W. They're absolutely locked out of the game. Even get the kill there. It's a tough spot to be in as bad guy. $136 damage. Not very impressive. Not very impressive. But the Bad Omen play was impressive. You don't really want to bunch up for Bad Omen. How to lose 101? Yeah, this seems to be pretty textbook way to lose. GG, well done, Succubus. Honestly, like, while the Bad Omen hit was very good, and it was definitely a cool play, the reality of the situation is I don't think bad guy could have really done much of anything. Like, that was just not going to come together for them. That gets, like, it was completely clobbered. They were just getting completely bodied. All right, let's see. All right, back with Renamon, this time on Pyro Abyss. No notes for this game. No notes for this game. We'll see what we've got. We'll probably close up shop after this one, chat. Like I said, I do want to record the A Mark and Daily Engineer one, since we didn't get to view it during the live stream today. We'll probably just put it up on YouTube as a 2-minute quick breakdown game. Like, no commentary one. If people really want me to do that game, just have somebody add it to the spreadsheet, and then, like, I'll record it offline, and then I can pull it up. It'll get awkward because I can't, like, skip between turns. I'm going to have to use, like, Windows Media Player, but it is what it is. Renamon with a very strange Poschetti play here. The disease going down on the cat. That's not a thing that happens very often. The bad guy being aggressive with the not long for this world kitten. We've had some pretty aggressive games out of a variety of different players today where, like, they're just pushing up with stuff. All right, Cowbell helping to stabilize things. Renamon able to bank up to 6. What do we got here from bad guy? I still think Stairmaster's a cool phobie. I don't care what anybody says. He's such a weird little dude. He's an angry little dude. That attractor positioning seems sus. Game. Alright, it would have died to the combination of these, that's why. It would have died to the combination of these. The bad guy bunching up with a little Sparky action to help out. I don't know about this one, bad guy. Honestly, there was probably an attractor play here. Like, you yoink everything forward. You can probably kill the Stairmaster, and then you lay into the Hevo. You would lose the attractor if they stay. But if they want to leave, then they can't kill it? I don't know. It kind of feels like there was an attractor play even on that turn. Blasto. This is where things could get scary because bad guy's getting time to build up this force that can actually push in on the attractor. But I think you're going to meet the attractor one way or another. That's an Akira. Honestly, so this is a little tough because now the jar is no longer on the stem, and you kind of wanted that to stay there. I think it would have been good to, like, maybe pop out a 1 key to prevent the jar from being displaced. There's the Morty. You love to see it. Sniping the spider. The spider yoink on the in-place Sparky. 6 keys for bad guys, 0 for our hero. That's some big splash going down, but not quite enough to actually kill anything just yet. Going for Poschetti? That's not enough to kill the Poschetti. I get it, because, like, if you leave the Morty alive, the Morty's just going to tear apart your team, but this is very This is just not good. You don't want to be in this situation. Spreading the damage, setting up for the Akira AoE. That Akira is a pretty good phobia, I've heard. I've heard that Akira is all right. Down goes Stairmaster. Panic point advantage, hero. And Klepto stands alone. Klepto stands alone, chat. One more chapter yoink for the road. The spider pole for the kill. All right. Take those. GG, Renamon. GG. Oh, chat. Got a decent number of games done tonight. What's today's date? Today's the 25th. Today is the 25th. Just cleaning up the spreadsheet. All right, chat. We're going to call it an evening because I'm super tired. We'll be back tomorrow for Variety. We'll be back at the end of the week, barring catastrophe, I guess on both counts, for some more Phobies action. We do have the update coming up soon. It seems like the date is the 5th. Monster of the Week, I got to decide whether we're going to resume this weekend, as in March 1st and 2nd, or are we going to skip a week and just wait for the update? I'm leaning towards that, to be perfectly honest. But I'm undecided at the moment. I may not be streaming the weekend of March 8th, 9th, and 10th. We'll have to see. If the update happens that week, it's going to get weird because obviously I want to do stuff for the update. But I have some real life stuff going on, so the timing is just unfortunate. We'll have to see. But either way, definitely a lot of fun tonight. We'll have some variety for tomorrow. But that's going to do it. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.